This is for the person who feels lost, the one who lies in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, knowing you were meant for more. You feel a gap between the person you are and the person you could be, and it's eating you alive. You want to change, but you don't just want to improve. You want to become unrecognizable. Let's be clear, the version of you that exists right now cannot achieve the great things you dream of. That person is too distracted, too weak, too afraid. To get to where you want to go, that version of you has to die. This is the process Bruce Wayne went through. He didn't just get stronger or smarter, he killed the broken, helpless boy from Crime Alley and became a completely new being. This wasn't an accident, it was a protocol, a three-step blueprint for total reinvention. I've seen this protocol work for people who felt completely trapped by their past, and in this video I'm going to lay out the entire blueprint for you. This is not about self-improvement, this is about self-creation. Part 1. The Exile Protocol. The first step in becoming someone new is to escape the gravity of who you used to be. Your friends, your family, your hometown, your daily routines, these things are an anchor, constantly reminding you of your old identity. As long as you are in that environment, you will never be free to build a new one. This is why Bruce Wayne's transformation didn't begin in Gotham. It began when he left. For 7 years, he vanished. He traveled the world, training with the League of Shadows, learning from criminals and pushing himself to the absolute limit. He went into a self-imposed exile. This wasn't a vacation. It was a strategy he used to erase his old self by physically removing himself from everyone who knew him as Bruce Wayne, the orphaned billionaire. He gave himself a blank canvas. There were no old expectations to live up to, no old habits to fall back into. In the eyes of the world, he was a ghost. This allowed him to focus with singular intensity on one thing, forging the weapons he would need for his mission. You can't become a lion if you spend all your time training in a sheep pen. The 99% of people who fail to change are the ones who try to transform themselves while remaining in the exact same environment that created their weakness. This leads to the first and most radical step of the blueprint, the 90-day exile. You are going to engineer your own period of disappearance. It doesn't have to be 7 years and you don't have to go to a Tibetan monastery, but for the next 90 days, you will go into exile. First, the social ghosting. Inform your true friends you're working on something important and will be less available. Mute the group chats. Delete the social media apps. Stop going to the parties and casual hangouts. You must ruthlessly cut out the social noise that keeps the old version of you alive. Second, the skill forge. Choose one, and only one, high-value skill that will be the foundation of your new identity. This could be coding, writing, video editing, a martial art, public speaking. For the next 90 days, your obsession will be to get dangerously good at this one thing. Every ounce of the time and focus you've reclaimed from your social exile will be poured into this skill forge. This period will be lonely. It will be difficult. Your old self will scream for you to come back to the comfort of distraction. This is the point. You are letting the weak parts of you die of starvation, so something stronger can be built in their place. Part 2. The Arkham Protocol. Once you've entered your exile, the real work begins, and it's not what you think. The most dangerous enemies you will ever face are not external. They are the self-sabotaging patterns in your own mind. Procrastination, self-doubt, fear of failure, addiction to comfort. These are your true villains, and you cannot defeat an enemy you do not understand. This is a lesson Bruce Wayne learned in the darkest corners of the world. He didn't just train his body. He trained his mind to understand the abyss. He studied the psychology of criminals. He dissected their fears, their motivations, their weaknesses. He spent years inside the criminal mind so that he could predict their every move. In essence, he built a psychological profile of his enemy. He applied the same ruthless analysis to himself. He had to understand his own capacity for darkness, his own fears, his own breaking points, so he could build systems to control them. He didn't pretend his demons weren't there. He locked them in a mental Arkham asylum, studied them, and learned how to use their energy for his own purposes. The 99% of people who fail are the ones who are constantly ambushed by their own weaknesses because they refuse to even look at them. This leads to the second step of the blueprint, the personal Arkham file. You are going to become a detective of your own mind. You will stop being a victim of your bad habits and start being a student of them. Get a journal. This is now your Arkham file. And for the next 30 days, every time you fail, every time you procrastinate, give in to a craving, or quit a task, you will not get angry. You will get curious. You will open the file and document the failure like a detective at a crime scene. You will answer 3 questions. What exact time, place, or feeling happened right before the failure? I felt bored after finishing a difficult task. What was the sequence of actions? I opened my phone, went went to YouTube and 2 hours disappeared. What temporary relief or pleasure did the failure give me? It allowed me to escape the feeling of boredom and not have to think about the next hard task. After a month, you will have a complete psychological profile of your own self-sabotage. You will see the patterns, you will understand the triggers, you will know your enemy, and only then can you begin to design a strategy to defeat it. Part 3. The Symbol Protocol. Once you have left your old world behind and understood your inner demons, you are ready for the final step. You cannot simply destroy an old identity. You must replace it with something more powerful. You must build your symbol. Bruce Wayne, the man, is finite. He feels pain. He gets tired. He can be broken. But the Batman is an idea, a symbol. It is a set of rules, a non-negotiable standard of excellence. It is the personification of his new self. This is the most misunderstood part of his transformation. The mask is not something he hides behind. It is a new identity he lives up to. When he puts on that cowl, the feelings of Bruce Wayne become irrelevant. Bruce might feel lazy, but Batman has a city to protect. Bruce might feel afraid, but Batman must be fearless. The symbol holds him accountable to a higher standard than any normal person could sustain. Most people fail because they rely on their feelings. They wait until they feel motivated. The top 1% build an identity that operates regardless of how they feel. This leads to the final, transformative step of the blueprint, forging your symbol. You are going to take everything you've learned in your exile and your Arkham file, and you are going to give it a name and a face. You are going to build your alter ego. First, define the code. What are the 3 non-negotiable rules your new identity lives by? Write them down. He does what he says he will do. He chooses long-term victory over short-term comfort. He is a creator, not a consumer. Second, create the uniform. This isn't a costume, it's a trigger. It's a physical object that signals to your brain that it's time to become your symbol. It could be the simple act of putting on your gym shoes. It could be putting on a specific watch when it's time for deep work. It could be drinking your coffee from a specific mug. When the uniform is on, the old you is gone. Now, when you face a moment of weakness, you no longer ask, what do I feel like doing? You put on the uniform and you ask, what would the symbol do? The answer is always dictated by the code. You have created an external system for accountability that overrides your internal weakness. This is the blueprint for becoming unrecognizable. First, the exile protocol to escape your past and forge new skills. Second, the Arkham protocol to understand and conquer your inner demons. And third, the symbol protocol to build a new identity that holds you to a higher standard. This is not a quick fix. This is a controlled way to get rid of your old self and the painstaking construction of a new one. It will be the hardest thing you ever do, but it is the only path to the great life you were meant to live. The boy who fell down the well died that day. The man who climbed out was something else entirely. Now it's your turn to climb. This blueprint gives you the framework for total transformation, but the entire system is powered by one thing: discipline. To make this work, you need an engine that never runs out of gas. That's why I created a video breaking down the 3-part Batman method for building superhuman discipline, a system that makes hard work feel automatic. So check out this video where I lay out the entire protocol.